been involved in philanthropy for a long time. I've invested in various things. And I've had a lot of ups and downs, as we all have in life. And I've said, we're, as I say, from the Judeo-Christian ethic, and most of them were respect for human beings, that all people are created in the image of God. I think that was the number one, and the number two is whether you believe in an afterlife or you don't believe in an afterlife, what you do on this earth to try to repair the world, try to make this earth a little bit better when you leave it than when you arrived, is a pretty all-consuming type of morality.
One of the differences between our efforts and many others is that we incubate programs, test them out, and then go out and try to find partners. And here we are going out of business 2016, and we want to be sure the things that we incubated that work sustain themselves long after we're gone.
At the outset, we've tried to lever every program that we do, so that's why we do a lot of testing. We do a lot of stuff to make sure that whatever program we're going to engage in is valid and viable and long-lasting. First of all, understanding your client. That's the most important thing. And understanding your client's needs or perceived needs. And questioning the client, are these the needs that I think that you have? And then how do you want to set yourself up? Do you want to have a private foundation? Do you want to go to a donor advised fund? Do you want to write checks? Do you want to be proactive? Do you want to be passive? There's no bad thing. These are all a question of goods. But I think to get to know your client on this aspect of his or her life, just as you have on other financial aspects of the person's life or
legal aspects. We've seen happen that has not always worked out very well is advisors who become trusted and then think they can give advice on things that they don't have any area of expertise on.
That's true.
And that usually turns out to be bad advice and gets in the way of the relationship. So understanding the limitations of one's role, I think is important.
To whatever is in their soul, whatever reaches into their soul, stay focused with that as the majority. Can't do it all, but as the majority of their philanthropic. Giving is really an art. It's scientific up to a point. But if you can do what the title of our book suggests, find the soul first, and then use a business plan to bring some order to the soul. It doesn't matter how much money you're talking about. You can make a difference on your street. You can make a difference in your neighborhood. You can make a difference in something else. Most of us cannot make much of a difference in the world. So therefore, it is incumbent on advisors to say to the client straight out, what are you trying to accomplish? And with that amount of money, can that be done? Your advice is 10% rather than 15%. But your client, you think, well, maybe they're looking at these other big folks who are getting the 15s. I think really just sit down and have a real one-on-one chat and say, we don't think that that's all we're going to be. Money that is in the stewardship category. To be conservative is to be wise. I think we thought of the book as being a how-to book for others. We did not think of it in terms of making Philanthropy 1.0, according to my guru here, was only the soul. Something occurred to you, a friend would call and say, gee whiz, such and such has happened, you write a check. Philanthropy 2.0 was only the mind. Well, I'm not going to write that check so fast. Who said I should write that check? What else is around? Yeah, well, we'll see. And then the mind would eventually take over and either the check would be written or not. Philanthropy 3.0 is when the soul meets the business plan. And
he says the biggest difference in the past generation is a generation ago, people supported nonprofits whose missions they chose to support. Whereas today, people support those nonprofits that help them achieve their personal feel today that their giving is a discretionary expense. And those who are practicing philanthropy 3.0 don't see their giving as a discretionary expense.